there will most likely be more. Welcome to the Last Star Wars podcast. I'm your host, Spencer Chandler, here with my co-host, Christian Miller. How's it going?
I'm kind of underwhelmed by that new intro, but I'm
Well,
still excited to
well,
be
listen. I say there. You guys know we normally say there will be no more, but there most likely will because we are celebrating the 21st anniversary of the very first Star Wars podcast, along with about 70 other podcasts today. So, from us, happy Star Wars podcasting day, February 7th, 2021. So yeah, there will probably be more Star Wars podcasts. We're not doing
we
very
don't
well.
want there to be.
We
The
don't
whole
want there to
premise
be.
is that we're putting an end to it.
Yeah, we're doing really badly at our jobs, but there will probably be more, but we wish there wasn't. So thank you everyone for choosing to spend your Star Wars podcasting day or any day after that if you
your
so
Super Bowl
choose.
Sunday.
If you're listening to this instead of watching the Super Bowl, you're an OG, actually. If you are, send us a Twitter DM or something and we'll send you something, for listening to this instead of the Super Bowl. But, so thanks for spending your Sunday with us. We're very excited for this Star Wars podcasting day. If you guys want someone that you can thank for putting this all together, that's going to be Daniel over at Star Wars Now This Is Podcasting. As always, the link to his not his YouTube channel, his website, where you can find any Star Wars podcast you could possibly want to listen to, is in the description. It's the first link in the description. So go check that out, and you can find other podcasts that aren't just ours. So you can get your whole variety of podcasts. It's really cool, and I've found a few just off that website before, and possibly a spoiler, we may be having him on a later episode. So be looking out for that. However, for this Star Wars podcasting day, Christian and I wanted to do something a little bit special. We didn't just want to have you guys listen to us for another hour and a half. We wanted to make it extra special for you guys. So we brought in some dinosaurs for this episode. Okay. And our first guest this week is going to be friend of the podcast, friend to me, not as much Christian, but either way, Mr. Justin Fisher. Hello, Justin.
My bitter rival.
Hey. Well, I appreciate the reference. I'll be sure to accept any form of AARP gift cards, KMW certificates, and or any old people, senior citizen dinner coupons you wish to buy for me. And I'll gladly send you guys some baby formula. But Christian, it is a pleasure to be here. Spencer, hey.
Hey, how's it going? So Justin is being our first guest this week, but we do have one more guest. And this guest is most famous for having a son who is just absolutely awesome and is super famous, so much more handsome and taller than this guest himself. This is going to be my father.
Your brother's not taller than I am.
Okay, this is going to be my father, Mr. Stephen Big Steve Chandler. How's it going?
How's everybody doing today?
Please don't do that.
The last time, I promise.
Please don't do that.
Christian, I apologize ahead of time. Thanks for putting up with me.
Yeah,
no problem.
I put up with him for 19 years, and I turned out fine. So I think
nobody cares about your opinion, though.
Okay, thank you.
That's a biased opinion.
So we've already established that this is probably just going to be an hour and a half of me getting bullied by 3 different people instead of just the normal one. So we'd like to thank Justin and Steve for being on this episode. I just find it so weird saying Steve because he's my dad, but I'm also on the air not going to say dad. But, thank you guys for being here on this episode. We thought it would be really cool if we had kind of a, original trilogy era Star Wars fans with some new school. I think Christian and I grew up. I don't know. We didn't really watch the prequel trilogy when it first came out, but we were young at that point, just being born young.
What?
So,
you were that young?
Yeah, Phantom Menace came out the year before I was born.
Really?
Phantom Menace was 01, right? Or was it 03?
It was 99.
Oh, so I wasn't even born yet.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, we are the spoiled generation because we grew up with both trilogies, and then by the time we were 11, 12 years old, Disney bought Lucasfilm and promised all these new things. So,
and we also had Clone Wars by the time we were 10. So, you
Yeah,
know,
you guys did get a sweet spot, I guess, with the extra cartoons. I survived the original Star Wars Christmas special, so I just want that to be out
well,
there.
you guys went from what 83 to 99 without Star Wars.
Yeah, pretty much, because 78, 77, 78 was the first
77,
one.
77,
Yeah.
80, and 83. I
Yeah.
think.
What is it like, and how can I get there?
Yeah, what's it like to go like more than almost 14 years without Star Wars?
So I'm going to tell you, you rewatch the originals a lot. And then in that huge gap, when anybody breathes the word, there could be a Star Wars movie, you're like, oh, there could be more Star Wars. And then they turn around and George Lucas remasters the originals and totally mangles them, in my point of view, with a bunch of unnecessary graphics. And you go, the originals were better. Just stop. They were more believable.
Yeah, I love some of the things the special editions brought, but today I was reminded of the Jabba's Palace,
Yeah.
the new song they made for Jabba's Palace, and that it was a scar in my childhood. Growing up, I was like, I didn't know the original edition, but I still knew that something was amiss.
So we got the originals still. Those are the only ones I showed my kids to keep it pure. I've let them watch the other ones on Disney, but for me, old Big Steve up in the corner over there. From my point of view, I was a Return of the Jedi generation. So I was born right near Return of the Jedi. So the first Star Wars movie I had any experience with being younger was Return of the Jedi. And so I really thought the whole thing was cool because those were cutting edge graphics then. Industrial Light and Magic had done so much work and come such a long way with cinematic graphics, cinematic everything, that was cutting edge. So when I saw that movie first time being, 6 years old, I was like, oh, this is great. This is the greatest thing you've ever seen. It was cutting edge. Even looking back, the first time I saw all of the movies.
So you were thinking of graphics when you were 6?
Yeah, it looked so great because you're shiny things. Remember, you're 6 years old. Shiny things attract you. Shiny, flashy things. Lightsaber battles were cool. Everybody, you wanted to have a lightsaber battle. That was a cool thing.
Well, so were you interested? Were you interested in the behind the scenes stuff from an early age?
Yeah, kind of.
They didn't really do as much of that though. You didn't see as much behind the scenes.
You didn't.
It was all just magazines, sci-fi.
Yeah, Sci-Fi Magazine and a couple of the other ones, because I actually have them over in the corner closet over here. A lot of the Sci-Fi magazines and stuff from behind the scenes, and that covers. My mom was huge into Star Trek, Star Wars, so that helped a lot too. She collected a lot of those, and so it was cool to see how they built everything. And me, from my point of view, I've always been the mechanical, hands-on kind of guy. So seeing how stuff is made from practical effects and pieces like that have always been, very, very entertaining to me. But looking now backwards as an adult at the lengths that they had to go to make one lightsaber fight look that great in 1983, it's amazing to stop and think about those graphics and what they were doing to accomplish that. Even in 78, when they made the very first A New Hope, what they had to do just to get the Star Wars whole thing off the ground with just the Death Star battles and the X-Wings.
And see, now they press 3 buttons and the lightsabers there. So.
Yeah, I know. Wasn't it just for the Death Star scene, wasn't it something ridiculous, 2,000 some model kits they had to kit bash together and glue to make the Death Star trench?
It's way too much. I know that because they didn't build them at a tiny scale either. They built them at I don't know, the X-Wings were probably the size of a head at least or bigger. So, they're working with a huge scale here for this trench run.
Yeah. Well, that's my point. So, from my side being Return of the Jedi generation, I really kicked off Star Wars with that and with my family. So, I know Steve will be a little older than me by about, 10, 20 years, something like that. Yeah. I think he was born in, for everybody who's watching, I think he was born in 1909, something like that.
Great.
Is that about right?
I think so.
Yeah, something close to that.
Something close.
I'll let him tell you more about, his childhood Star Warsing.
I am post the greatest generation, just for the record. So
okay. Well, if not, I was gonna ask you what's it like to be 0 for 2 in pandemics.
Right.
But yeah, how did you first encounter Star Wars, Steve?
Well, it was before Empire came out. A lot of theaters were re-showing A New Hope, and my dad took me to see A New Hope. So I actually got to see them in the order they were released.
But you didn't watch it originally because you would have been what, like 5 when it was, or no, wait, no, not even that old.
No, it was right before Empire came out.
Yeah.
A lot of theaters were re-showing A New Hope, because when A New Hope came out, I was like 3 years old. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But my father took me to see A New Hope before I saw any of the rest of them. So
That's cool.
You know, I've seen them kind of in the order they were released. So.
Well, I can say the only ones I've seen in theaters are the sequel trilogy. So I think it would be. I've always said that, like, if I could have a time machine, I would want to go to 1977 and just like see Star Wars in theaters, like originally, just like see people's reaction to the original Star Wars.
You'd be really disappointed
Right.
though in the quality of the popcorn, the crappiness of the theater,
I don't
and
care.
how comfortable the seats were.
It's
I mean, I've
whatever.
been to these
And
dollar
as
theaters.
opposed to, you know, killing Hitler or whatever, he wants to go to a theater and watch everybody.
Dude, that would have so much historical backlash. You don't know what would happen.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, you would change so much
Um,
about history.
Well,
What
but
would
that's
you
the
guys-
reason why I took you to so many Star Wars movies, was because it became tradition for my father to take me to every one
Yeah.
of the Star Wars movies. That was kind of
Nice.
like our thing and what we bonded over. And, you know, and that's why he always goes when I take you to a Star Wars movie. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna probably blow you guys' socks off to hear the story, but I had to have been 3rd or 4th grade, and me and my childhood best friend were taking, like, we were just got off of school, and it was a Friday, and our dads drove us to the premiere of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the animated
So
movie.
too.
That's
the
sick.
animated movie. Whoa.
That's
Yeah,
that's cool.
like that's like the first theater experience for Star Wars that I had.
See,
Even me,
that's
I didn't
cool,
see
though.
that movie until it came out on DVD because my grandfather like bought that DVD, and I was like, I didn't even know this movie existed. So
I mean,
Yeah.
that's really cool though, because you see, Christian, you're doing, you know, you have the family connection. Y'all's dad took you to see that. Steve's had his dad doing that, and he's taking Spencer and them to see those. You know, that's the first movies I ever took my foster sons that I adopted to, was to see the very first new Star Wars movie that Disney remade out of the whole piece in kit and caboodle. And we went to the midnight showing too. So,
nice.
you know, The Force Awakens was their first real experience with Star Wars. They had never seen a Star Wars movie. And
Really,
here I am. I'm like, we're going to the movies tonight. I'm like, okay, what time? Like 11:30. And they're like, 11:30 at night? I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go
Well,
watch Star Wars.
that adds a weird like thing to it, because you always hear like it's always a question: if someone has never seen Star Wars before, what order do you watch the movies in? And they
Just
either start with number 4 or number 1, and I've never heard of anyone like starting with the
Nah.
sequel trilogy and saying to start with that. So with you guys
I
who
think
have,
it's gonna be a story that's told like decades from now. Like people are gonna start. That's gonna be a common backstory.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
And I think it works because the main characters of the sequel trilogy don't know the full background of the galaxy, like
Yeah,
timeline, and
exactly.
so they're sort of like
They're
shoehorned
pulled.
into this big story, sort of knowing parts of it, but it's a lot of it's just a mystery.
And
And
yeah, they're pulled in
I think
with the
either-
normal stuff too, with like you know, like my kids at the time, they were 9 and like 7. So they're pulled in cold on The Force Awakens. So the only thing they understand is, here is this new character Rey, here is this new character Poe, here is Kylo Ren. I mean, they're getting those pieces, but what gets them is the sci-fi fantasy aspect of spaceships, other worlds, but then the lightsaber battles and the force powers. That's realistically what the first thing everybody I think remembers is, what's your favorite lightsaber fight, you know,
Yeah,
from your
I
original
think
movie.
so too.
I mean, realistically, my first lightsaber fight that I was like totally into was the first movie I ever saw, which was Return of the Jedi, which is Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader on the bridge of the second Death Star above Endor, and the Emperor laughing, you know, in the background as he electrocutes people later on.
Mhm.
You know, that's my first lightsaber battle. That's what drew me, is like, this is great. You know, this is awesome.
Yeah,
That and jumping between the dang barges over the dang Dune Sea with Luke Skywalker getting the lightsaber, beating people to death with it on, you know, I mean, that whole piece was great. And that's what a lot of people remember, that first lightsaber fight, the first force powers, what Jedi was cool to them, that kind of thing.
yeah. I mean, I want to ask one question to you guys, because you two grew up like, and you saw every movie, I would assume, in release order. So if you were told that, let's say that we're younger again, your kids have never seen Star Wars, but everything is out. What order would you, just like real quick, what order would you show your kids Star Wars in?
Release order.
Release
Without
order?
question.
Okay.
Yeah, without question. And I say that because those movies were made primarily with the idea in mind that you've already seen the previous movies. So the things that you encounter in those movies are, put before you, assuming that you've seen the previous movies. And that's kind of why you've got the original trilogy, and then kind of the backstory of some of the characters you already know. I don't think that the prequels would have been are as good when they're the first things you see. I think that the interest that you bring to those movies, with the fact that you're seeing the backstory of characters you already know, is lost if you haven't seen the original trilogy first. And I think that takes away something sorely needed in that in the prequels.
And I think
you need that to add interest, I think.
I'm fairly certain that's how you showed them to me. So I think you made me watch them in release order when I was younger. So
I wouldn't doubt it.
So
I don't remember, but I wouldn't doubt it.
You and your dad both made me do that. So
good for them. Well, I mean, I'm not going to hardline the debate on release order versus this order versus this order. I can say that release order is great because it familiarizes you with the classic characters. But one big call out that most people I don't know grasp when they're looking and when they watch the Star Wars movies as a whole is, the original 3 trilogy movies, they stand alone. And when you go into Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, the 3 prequels, they really stand alone. They stand as independent sets when you watch them. Like the original 3 release order trilogy movies stand in their own little group. Then when you get 1 through 3 in the prequels, they do stand alone, really. You get some characters and repeats, but they really stand alone as their own cinematic pieces. And then the newest movies also kind of feed better and flow a little better with the universe, but they still kind of stand alone with their characters, with the ideas, the concepts of the Force, what they've expanded upon in the universe that you haven't seen before. And so that's why I've shown it in both ways. I've shown release order to people, and I've shown chronological to people. And I'll say this, release order seems to have a little more of a spark, because even if somebody has no knowledge about Star Wars, who's at least 10 years old, they've heard something somewhere along the way about Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader or this and this, just bits and pieces somewhere with their friends. And when you show them, numerical order, 1 through whatever, they get it. They like kind of the stuff. It's like, yeah, it's all right. But when you show them, release order, they get to see Darth Vader first, and they recognize Darth Vader. The same characters that are from the original trilogy series movies in release order, they grasp onto them because they're such a common household name now. They're so prevalent and everything that they get more into it, I think, a little bit more when they first see Darth Vader than Luke Skywalker, and they see Han Solo and Chewbacca for the first time. And so I've done it both ways. And I preference release order, but nowadays with our kids and everything, we can watch any of them in any order we want to. Like, today let's watch Attack of the Clones and see what happens.
Yeah,
but I think you're so much more invested in Anakin's story when he becomes Darth Vader.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? I want to say one thing while it's being broadcasting. All the Hayden Christensen haters can back off a little bit. That poor dude did the best he could with his acting ability.
With the dialogue.
Tell you guys what was written for him,
and Jake Lloyd as well.
Jake Lloyd.
I'm gonna stand on the soapbox briefly and
I'm glad you said with the acting ability he had. That's the thing. That's the thing that Hayden Christensen lacked, was acting ability.
But that's the key. If you guys haven't heard it, between George Lucas's history, he never picked the Academy Award winning actors. He grabbed the guy no one had heard of and said, I'm going to give you a shot because you're a fresh face. It'll be different. And that's what Hayden Christensen was. And everybody's like hating hardcore by episode 3. And it's like,
yeah,
all right, well, this is only his third motion picture ever, and he's in one of the biggest blockbuster franchises ever here. I said, I think the guy is trying.
Yeah.
And this guy right here is actually quite excited to see what Disney's going to do for bringing him back as Anakin Skywalker coming up. So I'm actually really excited about that. I didn't like him, and I'll admit I hated him. I hated him in the prequels, and it's taken years to really kind of understand why. And some of it was his acting. A lot of it, though, is just how they wrote him to act the character, too. And looking back on it, now I feel like I gave him a little bit of an unfair shake, seeing where he was in his life, career, and what kind of defined him up to now. But I'm really excited to see him come back, potentially, to re-be, and revitalize that character as Anakin Skywalker. However, I still stick by the original series pieces. They never should have replaced him in Return of the Jedi as the Force Ghost over the original actor. That was some bull crap right there. Yeah. The original Force Ghost should still be the old bald guy that nobody remembers his name. It should not be Anakin at the end of the Return of the Jedi going, I'm standing there.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Sorry,
what
Steven, over?
Steven, you bring up a good point with knowing that Anakin's going to turn to the dark side, in terms of how it's going to change how you watch the prequels, because there is a bit of like classic sort of tragic storytelling with that, where where it ends up. And I do like that and like read of the story, where like if you go to the original trilogy and then like while these prequel stories are going on, that there's a trajectory it's going to start heading to. But I also like the chronological way of seeing it. And I don't always see like George Lucas as like word as gospel, but like I do like his intention of like, you got to get to know the boy first, because that's who he is. Mm-hmm. And I like if you're showing it to someone who's never seen these before, I feel like they'd be really heartbroken to see him continuously go down the dark path.
Oh yeah.
And it'd be even more satisfying to see him get redeemed at the end.
I love either way to watch it, but like one of the ones that I love is if you watch 4 and 5, and then so you get introduced to Luke, you get introduced to Darth Vader, and you get introduced to all the major characters. After Empire, you go back and watch the prequels, so then you realize that Anakin's Darth Vader. Right after you're told in the movie that he's his father, you go back, watch the prequels, get the backstory, and then you have the ultimate face-off between the dude and his son, who you just saw become Darth Vader. Like, that's really cool.
Get the Spencer to shake the whole thing up with the anti-establishment.
I know.
Dude, Spencer's like, I know the machete order.
Right.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Well, I didn't make that up. So I just want to let everybody know that I did not come up with that.
I can give you guys an even hotter take, though. If we're talking about introducing Star Wars to kids, I would 100% start off with an animated show, either Rebels or Resistance, or maybe Clone Wars. Clone Wars might be a little bit older demographic.
Yeah, Rebels. I think Rebels would be to start off with.
But yeah, I think the animated stuff, like, it's so good now, and I feel like kids respond to it quickly, like even faster than like an old movie would.
Oh yeah.
It's
in shorter
doses,
shorter parts as well, shorter doses, and with their attention spans too. I think that helps.
Exactly.
You've got a shorter arc to follow with each episode.
And I'm not letting Christian's comment escape before too long here about, George Lucas's word being gospel. Yeah. I'm going to offend some people right now because I'm not a regular on this podcast.
Oh, Lord.
George Lucas's word is not gospel.
I can mute people, right?
I'm just kidding. It is not gospel. If you need reference to that, go look at the last Indiana Jones movie and look at some of the prequel designs. I mean, and I'm not being harsh. He does have a vision when he makes things, and I appreciate the vision. But sometimes I think, with the prequels, you guys coming up with the prequels, that's kind of the cutting edge technology kind of deal of the day in the 2000s. But even everyone in the 2000s was like, wow, there's nothing real in this movie. And that's what kind of broke the prequels to most people, is George Lucas's inability to stop using the special effects and bridge the gap between what made the original Star Wars so great was the mix of that, that fantasy that you created with the special effects and the reality. And the prequels it's just so heavily special effect that sometimes it doesn't look believable. You know, that's what kind of ruins it a little bit. But
I find the story of George Lucas just so interesting because he grew up as this independent filmmaker who like accidentally made a hit, and he had to deal with so many interferences from studios, and so the prequels were just his opportunity to have a bunch of yes men that like okayed every idea.
Solely it was his idea to finally get his way and just, I'm gonna make what I want.
And obviously film was collaborative, so he had a great team behind him, but like he didn't have to answer to anyone really. And that's why he directed all three rather than having someone else step in. And so
I think that did him a disservice personally, but that's
I
a
don't
personal
know.
opinion.
I guess because I don't know what it's like to go to the theater and see a prequel and like be disappointed. I never lived through like the hype and then the disappointment. So at this point, I just keep like rewatching things and like learn more things about the behind the scenes, and it feels like this. It's just an interesting like trajectory of George Lucas and like his philosophy, like anything that he thinks is very interesting and unique. No matter,
I'm going to be completely contradictory with myself and say this: when I went to the movies after that huge of 15 years and no Star Wars movie to watch Episode 1, I wasn't disappointed. I mean,
I don't think anybody would have been disappointed.
No one was disappointed. Some people walked away like, it could be better. But me, after not having a Star Wars movie for that long and seeing what we were getting, now you can look back and go, I could see why the cinematic experts were like, this ain't gonna be an Academy Award winner, but at the time, if you take it at face value of the creation and what he was trying to do finally, it was great to have another Star Wars movie. It was great to see the characters back on that big screen. It was like this huge moment. And, to this day, I will give credit to everyone on that screen for The Phantom Menace. If, we should debate this till the cows come home probably, but my favorite lightsaber battle of all Star Wars films is Episode 1.
Oh, so that's mine as well.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon Jinn versus Darth Maul. It is by far the greatest cinematic lightsaber battle that has happened in the entire saga. So,
and you talk about that the build up of the hype and like just because it's the first thing in so long, you love it so much. I mean, at this point, me and Spencer are exposed to so many remakes and sequels that like the only time we'll ever experience that is the eventual flushed away sequel.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we might have major issues with it, but
they're probably, let's be honest, they'll probably jack it up or something.
But we'll love it,
But we'll love it anyway.
Wow.
But what it ultimately comes down to is that it's Star Wars, and it doesn't matter what it looks like. We're here for the story, and we're here to learn the backstory of these characters, and that's exactly what you got in the Phantom Menace.
And that's the thing. I as much as I'm not a huge prequel fan, when I walked out of the theater having seen Episode 4, I was ready for Episode 5, and I was excited for it. I had some issues. But I mean, George Lucas is not making a movie just for Steven,
Yeah, exactly.
He's not. Every aspect is not going to please me. So there's always going to be something. As much as they are my favorite 3 movies in the saga, they had me excited for the next one every time.
Yeah.
And in your generation, you guys have gotten the latest 3. So really,
we really did get the hype
fallacies here. Were you not excited for a new Star Wars when you saw The Force Awakens was coming? Were you two not just ecstatic? There's about to be a big screen Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I mean, we were, that's for sure. But like, I feel like now that we're done with this trilogy, we're both kind of like, if they were to release, like they just announced that they're doing like a whole new trilogy, and Christian and I are both like, but at least I am. We're like, cool.
But the excitement was there. It was your first big screen real Star Wars live action movies.
I got the announcement that Disney bought Lucasfilm from my brother's high school yearbook. I was not using the internet very much then, and so there was a recap of 2012 in that yearbook of like major events, and that was like, oh my gosh, there's gonna be Star Wars.
I've totally missed this. I'm 3 years
and so I guess in the aftermath of that, I sort of being up to date with everything on the internet regarding Star Wars.
Just got to throw some Back to the Future jokes in there. You're like reading a yearbook that's like 2-year-olds. Marty, you've got to come back with me. It's your kids.
Well, as much as I know that we could probably spend an hour and a half just talking about what it's like to watch Star Wars for the first time, we do have a little bit of a plan for this episode. But before we get
Spencer, you're such a buzzkill.
Buzzkill.
Before we get there, I just want to we want to give a shout out to all the podcasts who, along with us, are going to be participating in Star Wars Podcasting Day. So I'm going to take about 30 seconds here, and I'm going to list off. We're going to take breaks in between because there's a lot. So I'm just going to do a few of them right now.
No. I demand that you take a deep breath and say at least 30 in one breath before.
I'll do like 20 right now. Okay.
We can settle for 7.
Seven.
So we have Universo Star Wars, which I think is really cool because this is an entirely Spanish-speaking podcast. Have you heard this?
Okay, cool.
It's the only one that's like that. I just wanted to mention that one.
Okay, I was like, are you gonna do like a review of every title?
No. I just wanted to do this one because Universo Star Wars is a Spanish-speaking podcast, and they're participating in this, what I think is dope. Mando Talk, Me and My Padawan, Mudhorn Clancast, Never Seen Star Wars, Sabak Talk, Sandcrawler Cast, Boars Star, In a Galaxy Pod, Star Wars Lads, Who Dat Jedi Pod. Those are
those guys. Who Dat Jedi Pod.
So those are our first group. So if you guys want to go check out the full extensive list, you guys can go on Twitter to Star Wars Pod Day on Twitter, and they have the entire list of everybody participating and links to their personal accounts so that you can go in and check out other people. Other than just us, go get some fresh voices in your ears for your Star Wars news. But
some of those guys are almost as good as the guys from the Last Star Wars podcast.
Are
those
they?
guys?
Almost.
Let me tell you.
I really think you should all go check out everyone Spencer just said, but you really should put all your likes and everything and listen to only the Last Star Wars podcast featuring Spencer and Christian. That's
awesome.
The only one that matters to us.
Thank you.
And we'll get that check in the mail for you guys as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Hey,
Hey,
we compensated, but
it's okay. Hey, I'll take out the part that we bribed them in post. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, post that. Just edit it.
Oh, I will. Yeah. Okay. So, got a cool intro for you guys here for our next segment because it is time for us to do some epic Star Wars podcast trivia time. Okay. Welcome to the Last Star Wars podcast trivia featuring Justin and Big Steve. All right. So thank you. It took me all of like 10 minutes before we started recording to find that intro music. So I hope
Spencer, I didn't know you were in a jizz whaling band.
I mean, I really want that dude from WWE now who just goes, let's get ready to rumble. I mean,
I thought that was cool, dude. It took me 10 minutes to find the right.
Well,
Have you been
I'm
spending?
just glad it was
Have you been
intro
spending your
music.
weekends wailing jizz?
Don't know
I
how
had
to
no
respond
idea.
to this question. Please stop.
he spends a spare time right there.
It did take me 10 minutes to find that because I was like scrolling for like uncopyrighted music that I could use on the air.
I was
the
just
era
happy to hear
parents
it was
had
an
figured
intro and not background music. That's all I had.
Well, I can make it background. It goes for like 10
No.
hours.
Let's
No.
not.
Oh,
No,
we don't want
no.
to? Okay.
And why does that go for 10 hours?
Oh, never mind. It's only a 2 hour and 50.
But
Sorry.
why is
Sorry,
that?
I meant 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
Oh.
Okay. There is another one that I found that was like 10 hours of game show music, and I was like,
I was
who wants?
wondering who spent that long just going, we're going to continuously produce
I
2
don't-
hours of game show
It's
music.
like,
You guys just
who-
keep rolling in there.
Who
Don't stop
wants this?
now.
All right, so as you guys heard before, we're doing some trivia competition. We're gonna go old school versus new school. We have these trivia cards, and I'm not really sure
They're
where they
great.
came. I'm not sure where they came from, but I've had them for a
From
while.
Lucasfilm Limited. Duh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I think I got these for Christmas one year. So what's going to happen is Christian and I are going to ask Justin and Steve a question. They will have a few seconds. We're not going to time it, but just, keep it brief. We're going to have some time.
Wait. You don't have an uncopyrighted version of the Jeopardy theme of the counting down at Final Jeopardy, like available on demand over there with your sound capacity? I mean, I
probably
demand perfection. And while I'm waiting, I demand to hear the do, 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 do.
I don't know if other people want to
Sidetrack
hear
him,
that.
Justin. Don't.
Yeah, don't do
sidetrack
that.
him.
I will. Yeah.
You can just
don't-
unmute your TV if you
Don't
want.
physically go do it.
Yeah, Justin, you said you were going to watch Jeopardy, so just unmute the TV.
Oh, yeah. Hang on.
Christian,
I'm
and
getting old.
these two are so much alike. They're gonna end up railing each
Stop.
other.
No, he's going to do
Stop.
it. Stop.
I'm
So-
not really watching Jeopardy. That was a joke.
No, I know, but you're looking something up on your phone and I can see it.
Oh no, I was looking at the cards.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was shuffling them.
Oh, God. Okay.
I need to
So-
check the Wheel of Fortune score. No, I'm good.
So I'll explain the rules real quick. So Christian and I are going to read questions to Justin and Steve. They'll have a few seconds to discuss their answer and give it back. Some of these questions will be multiple choice. Some of them will just be you give us an answer, and then we'll switch vice versa. If you get it right, you get a point. We're not really playing for points here, but I mean, by the end of it, it'll probably be pretty obvious who wins because there are two of us who study these movies and talk about them once a week. So,
Wow.
not to
Nothing like calling your shot there, Spencer.
Well, I'm gonna say that, and then we're gonna lose. So. All right. So, who would like to go first?
I was really not invested on being in being really competitive with this until right now.
No. I'm just kidding around, man. Hey, should we rock paper scissors for who gets to go first?
Oh sure, I think Spencer and Big Steve should rock paper scissors.
All right. You ready?
Yeah. Is it 1, 2, 3? Then
It's
go?
rock paper scissors, and then you shoot.
Shoot. Okay.
Ready?
Wanna make
Rock
sure everybody was
paper scissors shoot. Dang. Okay. Rock paper
paper.
scissors shoot. Okay. So
Oh, you lost, Spencer.
all right. So you guys get to go first.
You should have done rock, paper, scissors. Blast them.
Oh yeah.
There you
More
go.
Star Wars
Yeah,
version.
Horsepower. Rock paper. Scissors.
We should have like come up with our own Star Wars version before we aired or on the air because that would have been 5 minutes.
Yeah,
but that would have
we should
required-
spend more time not doing trivia.
Yeah, we
Hey,
should.
wait a minute. I have not heard any other obligatory ads, Spencer. Don't you like your ads? Don't you like
Our ads are at the
stop
beginning.
right now like a YouTube video and play an ad before anybody hears any form of this game.
No, our ads are at the beginning of the episode, Justin.
No. We should do it right now like a good YouTube video.
All right, your first question. Your first question. I'm not gonna. This is a fill in the blank question.
Wait a minute. Didn't Steve win? Do we
Yeah.
want
So
to
you guys get. Okay. Do you guys want to go?
we
first?
want to kick or receive here?
Justin, I'm going to defer that decision to you, sir.
I say we kick.
Okay.
And, we make them answer
All
a
right.
question first. Do you
Okay.
want to read or do you want me to read?
I'll
Oh,
let
he's
you go
picking a card
first,
right
and
now. Steve's got it.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, come on.
okay. What did Yoda tell Luke Skywalker about his weapons when Luke was going into the cave?
This is a multiple choice question, right?
It is, but I'm really torn about whether I want to
This
give
is
you
pretty
these
easy
answers
there,
or not.
Spencer.
This is
Spencer, we
pretty
should
easy
discuss them
question there,
first.
Spencer.
Okay.
I
have this scene.
It's like a
in my
Jedi
mind.
needs not these. A Jedi needs not such things or something like that.
It's really
Yeah,
simple.
I think you're right. It's something about how he doesn't actually need his lightsaber.
Right. Yeah, I think that's close.
Wait,
enough.
wait,
The-
what?
The answer? You want the
Um,
word for word answer? Because
No, I
think
just want to
that's
add
close
something
enough,
else in case it helps.
Before you
You'll only
speak, I'm
find what you
giving
take
this.
with you. You'll find what you take with you, or something like that.
It's your weapons. You will not need them.
Yeah,
so
but
it's
you're right, Christian. He
crazy.
goes on. Yoda goes on.
We're
to
giving
say,
you that.
"What do you
We're
take?"
giving you that because the sentiment is the same.
Mhm.
There we go. We got it. We're the bestest. All right. So I will also start you guys out with a fairly simple one. And I will give you this question. This is also not multiple choice. Who portrayed the Emperor in the second version of the special edition of The Empire Strikes Back?
Oh, are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. Would you like me to repeat the question?
One time, yes.
Who portrayed the Emperor in the second version of the special edition of The Empire Strikes Back?
I think we need the multiple choice there.
Why?
Yeah, you know, I'm not a name guy.
Okay. You have Clive Revel, Ian McDermott, Bruce Boa, or Christopher Malcolm.
Wow. Well, I know it's not Ian McDermott, but other than that,
Say it again. Say him again.
Clive Revel, Ian McDermott, Bruce Boa, or Christopher Malcolm.
Clyde Revel was the original Emperor, so he's not in the remake, I think. Not in the special edition. I mean, he would have been the original emperor.
Think we're gonna have to take a stab in the dark, or just have him give it to us there, Justin.
I'm wondering what in the remastered edition changed when the emperor was in there. I don't think anything did.
Hey, don't be looking nothing up. I hear you
So-
tapping on your keys.
No, that was me tapping the cards on the table.
Oh, okay.
See, listen to him already. Accusing
Yeah, I
me of
know. He's
cheating.
all paranoid. All right, so Jeffrey News Rant, I'm going to stick with Clive Revel just because he was the original the original actor who portrayed the emperor. I mean,
Okay.
and I don't remember what they changed in the special edition because I know you only see the emperor in like 2
So,
scenes.
In The Empire Strikes Back, there is only one scene that includes the Emperor, and it is a hologram of him talking to Darth Vader. The original release is Clive Revel,
Yeah.
in which, in the special edition, was replaced by Ian McDermott.
Really?
Ian McDormand? Okay.
Yep. After
And this is why I hate the remasters, by the way.
well, it's after Return of the Jedi.
How can you hate it if you didn't know it though?
Got
Well,
him.
I knew it was Clive Revel in the original because he was the original emperor in the hologram scene.
Well,
Ian McDermott was in Return of the Jedi.
yeah,
so-
they switched it once they recast
stitching it together.
the Emperor as Ian McDermott in Return of the Jedi, so they wanted to make the continuity, so that's why they
Well,
switched. to-
wasn't it the voice that was Clive Revel, but the
image was
physical performance was a makeup artist?
mm-hmm.
You're right, it was. Yeah.
It was.
It was some random whatever. But yeah.
A hardworking, valuable.
Yeah, of course. But all right, so your first, it was Ian McDermott. It was actually, I think that's technically like a trick question because it's,
He is.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, your
All
next.
right, so it's
Hey,
y'all's turn
wait,
again.
do you have your SAG card?
Here it comes. You ready? You ready?
I'm
You
ready.
Christian and Steve.
Hmm.
Excuse me, Spencer. Sorry.
My name is Spencer.
Little Steve. So I've been waiting to ask this question. I'm going to give
Is
you
this the one that you told us before we recorded?
No, I've been waiting on this one though.
Oh, okay.
What was the HAVW A6 Juggernaut's maximum land-based speed? Was it A, 90 kilometers per hour, B, 160 kilometers per hour, C, 190 kilometers per hour, or D, 50 kilometers per hour?
Okay,
I don't know who has
Christian.
these
So
questions.
Christian, the Juggernaut is the same. What we saw in that episode of Mando with Bill Burr, right? That's what they drive. Is a Juggernaut, correct?
Yeah.
Those things go pretty slow.
Hmm.
I would have to say it's either 50 or 90 because they go slow, but they don't go super slow.
I would say they still go pretty fast because
That's
I don't
right,
know,
because
just seem
Mando
really
does get
powerful.
shaken up whenever
Yeah.
it stops.
and like
What
I
were the
don't know.
first two? What were the 100 ones again?
160 kilometers per hour or 180 kilometers per hour?
I don't think it goes that fast.
That's
well,
a pretty close
but
tolerance.
remember it could go fast, but it wasn't supposed to because
That's right. It's
The-
asking what the
the-
top speed was.
the whatever it was called is corrosive and it was gonna
Yeah.
explode if they went fast.
Yeah.
Just
So it could go fast. They were going what,
Well,
like maybe half speed according to that like
speed
dial we
is
saw.
relative because you're talking in
Yeah.
kilometers an hour, and 160 like kph is only 98 miles per hour.
Okay, but they were going like half speed with that stuff, so I would say they were probably going 90, and so I think it might be 180 or 160.
Lock it in.
Which one?
Which one?
He said 180,
The one you-
160, and
The one
90.
you just lock something in.
180 final answer.
180. Final answer. Going once, going twice. Sold. The answer was 160 kilometers per
Dang.
hour, which
So
would be
close, and yet so far away.
98.9945 miles per hour, apparently. I
Dang.
promise that's going in the discard pile. We will not have another KPH question. And
Well,
feel
hey,
like-
I'm just surprised that I remembered what the Juggernaut was and that we were able to like almost work that question out.
But the thing of this game that you've got is pretty much all original series and prequel questions. And did we ever see the Juggernaut?
I'm trying to
It was in
remember
Revenge
where
of the
we
Sith.
saw it.
Revenge of the
It was
Sith.
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith had it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of shots of like the war on different planets, and it's in
Yeah,
at least
it was probably
one
in
of them.
there. Okay.
And then it was in Rogue One after that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about Rogue One.
Yeah. So Christian, would you like to ask them their next question?
Sure.
Okay. I'm
Thanks,
trying
Christian.
to find. Since they hit us with that, I'm gonna get a somewhat hard one.
Okay.
Okay.
I hope somebody has a Jar Jar question. That's all I got.
Who did Darth Vader think was missing from a consular ship?
The ambassador.
All right, you got it.
I'm sorry, that wasn't that hard. If this is a consular ship, where is the ambassador?
Dang.
All right.
Okay.
Knowing the meanings of those
Christian looks
words
really
helps,
upset with me right now for just off the cuff of that one. He's like, I am going to eat more pizza, and I'm just going to stay to myself. I'm going to murder these people.
That's my general mannerisms.
Well, I see Spencer has driven you to it by now.
All right. So what is our question? Our next question.
Steve, it's on you to draw a card now.
Here we go. What was the name given to the Imperial program that attempted to build droid warriors to crush the rebellion, but resulted in IG-88? I'm going to give you 4 choices.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you don't need that.
Yeah. I'm going to repeat the question. What was the name given to the Imperial program that attempted to build droid warriors to crush the rebellion, but resulted in IG-88? A, Project Starscream. B, Gurdon's Folly. C, Project Pludroid. Or D, Loris's Folly.
What was the last one?
Loris's Folly.
Okay, before you said the choices, I was thinking that the name had star in it. I thought it ended in star, but you said Starscream, so I'm just gonna say Starscream.
I'm gonna agree with that.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, see, if you were our age and you had seen the Transformers,
Well, I know
that
I didn't.
Starscream came from the Transformers.
Well, I know
Some names are recycled though.
Right. That's true. Not that one.
Oh,
The correct answer is C, Project Pludroid.
I had no clue either.
That's a weird name. Is that even that has to
Droid.
be? That's weird
It's
because like
PH.
IG-88 is really only in like 2 scenes, and he's in one more scene in the special edition when he's added to Return of the Jedi. And I have a feeling that line right there or whatever was spoken in the special edition in Java's palace.
Of that I have no doubt.
Yeah.
I don't think these are even all based on lines. I think
They
some
might
of them are
not.
just based
No,
off of
Some of them are just
encyclopedic
random
stuff.
trivia.
Yeah,
It
some
may be
may
behind
just-
the scenes.
Yeah, you're right.
Like I can tell you for a fact, one of them I read the other day was so random. Like nowhere in the movies did it really mention like this random part about why Jar Jar was some weird thing.
Yeah.
And the whole question had to been lore, because when I looked up that random card, I was like, this can't be like something that's general knowledge. It was never referenced in a movie. It was referenced in a book and like a script. So these are like real deep trivia questions.
Well, I will go to a somewhat easy one because we haven't gotten one right in a while. And
I think you're realizing why Spencer and the family have not played this game on a regular basis, even though we are Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
It's because
some of these questions
are
are
ridiculous.
dumb. Okay, so your question is, what type of weapon did Han Solo carry? You have a DH-17 blaster, an ionization blaster, a DL-44 blaster, or a Merson Power 5 blaster pistol.
I lean towards C, Justin. I don't know about you.
I think it's the DL-44. I can't remember.
That's C. Yeah.
Final answer?
Yep.
We're going to use that as our final answer.
DL-44 is correct.
I thought it was.
That is what Han Solo
When in doubt, Charlie out, brother.
Yeah, well, not really. When in doubt, Charlie out. Okay, so it's my turn to read a question.
Is that a military reference?
Yes.
Kind of,
Okay,
yeah.
thank
So,
you.
all right, here we go. Top of the deck, pulling the card. Let's see what we got.
Alrighty.
Not to be confused with my discard pile. Okay, so this one should be pretty easy too. This is an OG trilogy one. Who was gold leader in the Battle of Endor? Do you need the choices?
Red leader. No,
Gold leader, not red leader.
Yeah.
Who was gold leader in the Battle of Endor? Do you need the choices?
Do you want the choices?
Which colors were for which ship, Spencer?
because Gold Leader was the Red Squadron was always the X-Wings because Luke was Red Leader during the first Death Star explosion. But I'm thinking it's Wedge.
Y-Wings.
Yeah.
Was it Y-Wings?
I
No,
wanna
Wedge
s-
was an X-Wing pilot.
I know
though.
he was, but Wedge was also another leader or no, he was Red 2, wasn't he? In the Can we have the choices?
Okay, so the question is, who was Gold Leader in the Battle of Endor? So your choices are Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Lando Calrissian, or Wedge Antilles.
I think it was Lando
It's gotta
because
be, yeah, it's
Wedge
gotta be Lando.
because Wedge was moved to Red Squadron after that. So we'll say Lando.
Concur? Final answer?
Yes.
You, sir, are correct
Thank you.
because Gold Leader.
And he was leading a bunch of
bombing
Y-Wings,
run.
as I recall.
That's right. Yeah, he
Gold
was.
Leader led the bombing run in the Death Star in the first one and in the second Death Star battle, but this time he was led by Lando Calrissian.
Because Wedge was Red 2 in A New Hope, but had been moved up to Red Leader once Luke left. So there you go. All right, Christian, is it your turn to ask a question?
Yes.
It is.
Who is in charge of Echo Base on Hoth?
Oh, it's that old dude. Can I get the choices? Do you want the choices, Steve, or you just suddenly know it offhand?
Well, yeah, but was he not following Leia's lead at that point?
I kind of want the choices to make sure I'm right.
All right.
Yeah. What are the four choices?
Okay.
I'll give them the choices.
What?
I said yeah, I would give them the choices.
Okay. The first option is General Mills. Don't know why it says that.
General Mills
Because
Because
cereal.
we like cereal.
I like cereal.
General Dodonna, General Veers, and General Riken.
Oh, yeah.
It's the old
that
dude.
last one.
I
Yeah,
told
that
you it's the
last
old
one.
dude. I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
General Riken because I can't remember honestly who all of them are. If Steve says D, well, let's go D.
It's
Yeah.
just
It was
It's
it.
Riken.
Random guess for the win.
Wait, who's Dodonna?
no, it
then?
wasn't a random guess. It was a gut
Oh.
guess.
I
You
thought
knew
was
it.
Dodonna.
Okay. I had no
Completely
idea.
random.
So
Dodonna was the long white haired guy from
Yeah.
A New Hope. And
That's
then
right. I get
Riken
them-
was
Yeah.
shorter white hair, I think.
I thought they
Yeah,
were the
with the
same
beard.
dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. Thought they were the same dude. All right.
Steve's turn.
Well, we're gonna take a quick break from the questions real quick. We want to mention a few more podcasts.
Go ahead.
Who are participating on this momentous day. We have the Carbonite Crew, the Jedi Masters, the Bricka Sack Pod. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Skywalking Pod, Swin Direct, Star Wars Now This. Shout out to him. Star Wars Beyond the Films, Forcecast Net, Star Wars Reactions Pod, Wookiee Radio, and Inside the Force. Thank you to all of those.
Star Wars Now This is just a shortened version of Now This is podcasting, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know if does he have his own podcast? I think he does.
I'm not sure if they're like
He's-
it might be. I
He's
hope I'm
been
not
a
confusing
guest
it,
on
but,
others.
Like I don't know if it's like just the site and there's a separate podcast or if they are connected.
I'm not sure, but I know that he I don't know. That is his link to his Twitter account, so
Yeah.
I think he
So
has a
probably
podcast. So anyway, next question.
Spencer's going to love this one.
Ooh.
I swear I picked it up off the top, but
Okay.
this one involves C-3PO,
Let's go.
who we all know is Spencer's favorite character in
We just did an
all.
episode about it. I'll get my nice little Lego C3PO to help me with this question.
Absolutely. What did C-3PO giddily announce that he had isolated on the Millennium Falcon? A, the hyperdrive motivator. B, the reverse power flux coupling. C, the fuel drive pressure stabilizer. Or D, the warp vortex stabilizer.
Wasn't it the hyperdrive?
I think it's the power flux coupling. Because I remember seeing some like analysis of the scene of like it being like a cheeky like reference to the fact that Han was coupling up with Leia, and it was supposed to be like this like
yeah.
metaphor or whatever. And it wasn't hyperdrive because we don't see that till solo.
That's right. You're right. All right.
Christian is correct. It was the reverse power flux couplet.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was
Nice
either
one,
that.
Christian.
I knew it was either that or the
Good save,
hyperdrive.
Christian. Spencer about cost you again.
Oh,
I
wow.
was confused the whole way because the faces that Justin was making, I was like, I can't tell
Do
if he's
not-
like,
I'm
I
telling
can't tell
Do
if he
not
knows
look
that
at
I'm right or wrong.
No, don't
I'm
look at
just nodding my
Justin.
head for all
Attention to
four
Justin.
answers.
Do not look at Justin. All right.
He will
your
do that
next-
on purpose.
I
Your
did.
your next question is, I'm gonna go back to another number question. How many TIE fighters make up a typical attack squadron? Would you like your choices?
Yeah, sure. You got your choices on. We got ours on last. I
Okay.
think.
12, 20, 14, or 10.
I have a feeling, as bad as they aim, I really want to go 20 just because they send so many out there.
We can go with 20 because I have absolutely no idea. But
Sure,
my
20.
My gut
Let's
says
roll with it.
12, but
It probably is 12, but let's go with 20.
yeah.
The answer is 12.
Oh, it is? Dang. Oh, you're
And
right.
you want to know why my gut says 12?
Why?
Because it's a multiple of 3.
You should have done with it then. I said 12.
Well, it was just one of those things.
I failed you.
Lucas has a thing with 3s.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Ooh, oh, so it's my turn to read one.
It is
Off
your
the top
turn
of
to
the
read
deck
one.
We come. There's 2 questions on these cards, right?
Yeah.
Which question do you want? Top or bottom this time? Let's change it up a little bit. Do you want the top question or the bottom question, Spencer?
I want the bottom question.
Bottom question. Who gave the order to move the fleet away from the Death Star at the end of the Battle of Endor?
I feel like I should know this. Like very.
You really should know this one.
It's got to be
oh,
Akbar.
oh,
Yeah, I
oh.
think you're right.
Oh, thank you, Christian. It is Admiral Akbar.
I was like, who else would it be?
that along with "It's a trap." It's a trap. Are the 2 biggest lines he's got. Period.
All right, Christian I think it's your turn.
Who said, I am not a committee?
Hmm.
You want the options?
Yeah, sure.
C-3PO, Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo.
I think it's Han Solo.
That's what my gut says.
Yeah,
Man.
let's go Han
Final
Solo.
answer?
Yeah.
It's B, Princess Leia.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Just sounds like something Han Solo would say.
Yeah, it does.
All right.
He's more of a pro committee kind of person, you know.
No.
All right. This next question is one that. Oh wait, no. You're asking us. Never
Oh, yeah.
mind.
Yeah, Steve's
All
turn.
right. Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Ruh-roh.
Becky.
All right. Which white protocol droid worked with the Rebel Alliance in Echo Base?
Choices, please.
Really?
I think
They're-
so.
They're all very similar, but I'll give them to you anyway.
Okay.
C-3PX, R-3PO, K-3PO, or N-3PO?
I think it's K. I'm very
I'm thinking
surprised.
X because didn't it die? And I'm thinking X is like a, when the cartoons have X's over their eyes.
It did die.
Good
That's
logic.
just, that's just a made up reason I made.
Yeah.
I think it's K.
But it
I really.
sounds logical.
I kind of think it's K.
That
K3PO.
Christian's reason is very, what's the word I'm looking for? I like his reasoning, but
Well, it's not. That's not the first character they've done like that. There is a Jedi who dies in Clone Wars whose name is I'm a gun die.
Yeah.
So
oh my goodness.
like that's he lives for like 5 minutes and then dies.
Gotta have the red shirts.
I
Mhm. So
as much as
which
I
one
love
of
your
you,
reasoning-
which answer are we going for? You want me to read
it
them again?
seems it seems more likely that they would do something stupid like X because it's gonna die.
So that's what you're going for?
I think we'll go with X.
It's K-3PO.
God, knew it. Dang.
Christian, I
It
really
would-
did like your reasoning.
I did
Uh,
too.
I made it up.
That would have been
Well,
so.
I
That
was
would have
good
been
with
awesome.
Spencer's up
That's
there
not
using
true.
sound
We made it
logic,
up.
but we'll go with yours.
Yeah.
Yours is more fun.
All right. Well, This next question is a question I kind of like. Don't think I'm gonna give you the. I don't think I'm gonna give you the choices. But where did Luke Skywalker bullseye womp rats?
Beggar's Canyon back home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
I was about to say I wasn't gonna give you that one, but I wanted. I like that question.
I like that one
Justin
too.
said that line so many times, pretending to be Luke Skywalker.
No, actually, no, I didn't. Okay, off the top shelf here coming. Let's see what we got. Oh my dear heavens.
Yeah.
This one. So I don't know if everybody realizes there's two questions on the card, and sometimes when I ask you guys, I'm gonna ask you which one you want. You want the top or the bottom because these are equally terrible for you.
Christian, I'll let you pick this time.
You want top or bottom, Christian?
Top.
Okay, thank gosh. I don't want to read that one. From which planet did Senator Annalee Team hail? A. Zagabuk, B. Malastare, C. Tatooine, or D. Naboo?
Say the
But
name
we can-
again. We
Which
can rule out
planet did
Tatooine.
Senator Aline Team hail from? A. Zagaba, B. Malastare, C. Tatooine, or D. Naboo?
I think it's B because that doesn't sound like a Naboo name. It's definitely not Dagobah, and it's definitely not Tatooine.
Wait, Dagobah was an option? Yeah, that's definitely not.
Didn't you say
And
Dagobah is
Tatooine-
number one?
Zagaba.
Zagobah.
Yeah, it's not Dagobah. It's Zagobah.
I don't think they would
Well,
have a
that
planet
makes it-
called Zagobah.
They do.
Well, it's in the card, and
Oh.
that feels like a wild card thing.
There's some made up
Tatooine-
answers.
Tatooine doesn't have representative government. I'm pretty sure.
It's
So,
I can't say
oh, so the X.
Yeah.
Well, we know that's not the
Well-
answer, so
Oh yeah.
Justin, you
I
just
don't
gave
care.
away
I
it
want
wasn't
you to
the
see
answer
that,
because
like,
it
I
was
think
a
it's
bomb.
C.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think it's
that's
C because it doesn't sound like a Naboo name.
No,
Go see.
wait, wasn't C Tatooine?
No, wait.
I don't know.
Which one was Tatooine? With the one that starts with an M.
Malastare.
Yeah.
Just Malastare is what we think.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, sure. Way to save his butt there, Christian, because Spencer was trying to take you to Tatooine, and the answer is
No. I knew it was Malastare, but I thought that was answer C. Anyway.
No, we're going B, Christian. We're going to the desert. I like the sand.
Why does everyone want to go back to Jakku?
Why does
I swear I reference that every few months in the show.
you do?
It always comes up.
Haven't we had enough of desert planets?
We have not, apparently.
Mm.
Oh, it's
Is it
y'all's
my
turn.
turn?
Yep. Your turn.
All right. How did Darth Vader accept Captain Nita's apology?
Steve, do you want to take it or should I?
Go for it, brother.
Horse choked him to death.
Mhm.
Apology accepted, Captain Nita.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think anybody was gonna miss that one.
No. And I'm sorry to tell y'all that last card. I'm glad y'all picked that one because the other one was how tall was somebody.
That's so dumb.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Steve, your turn for a card.
We're gonna give them an easy one here. You're not gonna get choices. I'm gonna tell you right off the bat. What does
All right.
ATST stand for?
Oh,
All-terrain
Um,
something transport. Is it Scout?
Yeah, all-terrain scout transport, right?
That is correct.
That is
Yeah.
correct. Good job.
What does the hyphen stand for?
Right.
Is this an AT-AT, all-terrain attack transport or something like that?
Yeah, it's
Armored
something really
trans-
somewhere. Yeah.
Armored
transport.
transport. You're
Yeah,
right.
armored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Christian.
I swear I have the
Or is
easy
that-
section.
Or is it my question? It is my question.
Your question.
Yeah, serious.
I'm not going to give you the answers, but you don't have to do this like word for word. So, according to Princess Leia, why was their escape from the Death Star so easy?
They let us go. They're tracking you right now.
Right.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
We'll take another quick break and mention some more podcasts.
Go for it.
We have The Mandalorian, The Unbound, Hey Mando, Last Star Wars Pod, hey, that's us, Starbirds Pod, Dark Saber Light, Sundari Nights Live, This is the Waycast, that's funny, Tuscan Radio Pod, Who's Shot Star Wars Podcast, Why Mandalorian, This is the Way, Outer Rim podcast, Logs in Light pod, Carbonite combos, Coruscant CC, Hoth
Community
off.
college. It's
Oh,
Coruscant
that's right.
Community College.
Yeah, they actually followed us on Instagram. Hoth off podcast, Mando show podcast, My Saga Star Wars, War of the Stars, and What Wars. So everybody go check out some other podcasts. All right, your guys' turn to ask us a question.
Alrighty.
It's Steve's turn.
What did Luke Skywalker ask Yoda about his vision of the future?
Wasn't it something along the lines, Christian, of like, is this real or something? Like he wasn't sure if it was true or something. I don't remember exactly.
The vision he's talking about is his friends being in danger, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Is it what did he ask that or what did he say?
What did he ask Yoda about
Okay,
his
so
vision
it's
of the
not-
future?
Are there choices?
There are, but if I
Are they
can't
way
say
too
it, it would
obvious?
be a dead
Yeah.
giveaway. Yeah.
Okay, I think it has something to do with like, is this true? Because he wasn't sure whether if it was actually true or he was just like imagining something.
I'll tell you, that's one of the choices.
It's relating to him going to help him, or going to help them,
Yeah.
and leaving his training, and
But he wasn't worried
Yes.
about leaving his training, so I don't think he would ask anything about leaving. He said, "I have to go help them," is what he said. That's why I asked if it was something he said or something he asked. I'm gonna
go ahead.
I'm gonna go with "Is it true?" or something along those lines.
No, it's will they die?
Oh, I would not have come up with that.
Don't feel bad. I couldn't remember.
I was about to say I was not gonna come up
Right.
with that. Not gonna lie.
I was over here reliving the whole scene.
The very first, I'll give you one of the choices that was the incorrect answer. The very first one says, "What are they wearing?"
What?
What are they wearing?
What are they wearing?
Yeah, that's the kind of choices we had. That's why I couldn't give you the four choices.
Yeah.
There's no way.
All right, Christian, it is your turn.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
How
That's
many
ready to work
nostrils?
more.
How many nostrils do tauntauns have?
Wow. What are the choices? I want to hear the choices on this one.
2,
Just
4,
that
6, and 8.
Yeah, I thought it was four,
Got 'em.
but it might just be two.
You answer, Steve. Go for it. I really don't know this, but it's kind
We're
of
going with
I kind of
four.
want to know now. This will be
Going
one of
with
those things I
four.
remember now to the day I die. Like, how many
Right.
nostrils does a tauntaun have?
And you're going to be stuck with that knowledge. It's going to push
Does your-
something else out of your head later, too.
Got to forget my kids' names when I'm 80, but I'll know this.
Your final answer is 4?
Sure, do it.
That's correct.
Oh, it is? Oh my gosh.
Dang.
Random.
Gotta trust
So,
your
ladies
gut
and gentlemen,
sometimes. Good.
tauntauns have 4 nostrils, and I now will forget my child's name when I'm 95, but I'll know that.
Yeah, who are we kidding? You're not making it to 95.
Oh, hey, I'm optimistic about anything. Okay, so here you go. My turn to ask a question here. To which Ewok was C-3PO referring when he said, "I'm afraid our furry companion has gone and done something rather rash"? And this is one of those cards that only has one question on it. You want the choices?
That's the little one that goes off and like
Yeah, but it has a name.
I thought the only one that we knew a name of was Wicket.
Well, your
That is
choices
Wicket.
are Wicket, Palapoo, Lorgay, Lorgrai, or
Lorgray.
Chief Chirpa.
Yeah,
it's done something rash. I don't think
it's whoever
I
the
remember
little
it
one
being-
is.
I remember it being like a child Ewok that like went off and did something because Logray and Chirpa were like leaders of the village.
Yeah, I think it's the what was the second
What
one?
about Chief Chirpa?
Who was
No.
What was your second one?
Chief Chirpa is the religious priest of the
Oh,
village.
that's right, like
he
the
does. He's
shaman.
not.
Yeah.
He's not rash.
That's one Luke threatens, right? With tell him I'll show him your magic powers. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the second one you said, Justin?
So Wicket, Palapu, Lorgrai, or
I think
Chief
it's Palapu because he's the only one I can remember being young. And
No,
I
Wicket
think,
was young.
oh, that's right. But
I feel like Wicket could just be the obvious answer. I just having trouble remembering the little details of that battle.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just go with Wicket.
Justin's face.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Is it Wicket?
No, it was Palapu. Not joking either. Palapu. Saying be Palapu.
Nice.
Justin, do you remember the Ewok cartoon?
Yes, I do. It was hideous and horrible. I'm glad you guys never were faced with that in your childhood.
Right.
All right. So I have a
Don't go look that up, kids, because it'll scare you for life.
You'll haunt your dreams. That and the original Star Wars Christmas special.
That's where we get the blurg, though. Or
Yes,
that's from the Caravan of Courage.
But happy
So we get
Life
the-
Day to you both. Yeah,
Life
go
Day
back.
is
yeah.
until is Life Day Christmas? I assume so, right?
No, just go watch the original Star Wars Christmas special. It'll haunt your dreams, and you'll know everything about Life Day you need to know.
They also reference Life Day in the new Christmas special. Like the whole thing's
No,
about
they do.
Life Day.
I know
But-
that.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, our next question for you is: what is unique about a Sarlacc's tongue? Would you like your choices?
Sure.
It is sentient. It has arms. It is a separate creature, or it is beaked.
It's beaked.
It's so there's only 3 choices.
No, it is
No, that was
sentient.
4.
It has arms. It is a separate creature, or it is beaked.
It is beaked.
I don't know. I've forgotten. I know it has tentacles and beaks and stuff. So I know
Beak
it has all
is
of
your
that.
answer.
So
Yes.
Beak is
Sure.
correct.
Oh,
It
it
does
is.
have beaks, or it does have a beak.
well, okay then. Random for the win there. I could not remember that much about my Sarlacc history. Sorry. Besides, it threw up Boba Fett.
Even a blind squirrel finds a nut occasionally. I will be right once in a blue moon.
Blue moon. Oh,
Right.
Steve.
All right.
Whose turn is it?
Yeah.
I think it's Dad's.
Yeah.
It
Ah,
is
you said
indeed. And you guys are going to ask me for you're either going to know this right off the bat or ask me for the choices. And
Okay.
you're not going to get the choices on this one.
Nice.
Because
thank
this
you.
is, you guys like your film theory and behind the scenes kind of stuff. You guys are
Oh Lord.
film buffs. This is actually about the filming. So,
Mhm.
where were the Hoth sequences filmed?
Ooh, I remember that. I actually remember that one.
I used to know this answer. It's the one that I'm not confident about. It's like the one planet that I'm not confident with saying where it was.
If
Pretty sure
anybody
it's
knows
Iceland.
it, if anybody of the 4 of us knew this right off the bat, it would be Christian.
I'm pretty sure it's Iceland.
It was one of the choices, but it is incorrect. It was Norway.
Ah.
Norway.
Also, Iceland is more green than
Yeah, I forgot.
The Norwegian.
Greenland is the
But if-
one that's really icy.
Greenland is icy. Iceland is green.
Spencer, thanks for that.
Depending
help.
on the time of the year.
I don't remember. I couldn't.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that very accurate correction after the fact.
Well, I couldn't think of any other better. I can't think of a better response. So,
All right. My question is technically it's hard, but it's ridiculous that it's hard. Which character did I think it's pronounced Shaylee Fraser, but it looks like Sheilog. But which character did the actress Shaylee Fraser play?
Wow.
What are the choices
This
on that?
this is ridiculous because there are like 3 speaking women roles in the
Yeah.
original trilogy. So A, Lisa Sarin, Brindy Trushong, Baru Lars, and Suila Corey.
I'm gonna say, I'll go Brew Lars.
I would go with
Only
the
name
last
I
one.
recognize.
I want to say I recognize that last one, but to be honest,
Well, let me go with what you think because I have no idea. I don't remember anybody but Princess
pronounce
Leia.
that last one again, and that's the one we're going with.
Suila Corey.
Sure, do it. Whatever.
All right, final answer, Suila Corey.
There we go.
Yeah, what's the answer? Chris?
Incorrect.
What was
Nope.
it?
It's Baru.
I was right, Aunt Baru.
nice.
They should have made it. Should have been a curveball. They should have put Mon Mothma because like then there'd be 2 recognizable ones you have to go between.
It's
But you
true, I
still
mean-
had You still made it hard for yourselves.
I couldn't remember.
For some odd reason, when you pair the last name with it, it just totally takes it out for me. It just totally takes me away from.
The name Soyla Corey just sort of reached out to you like a siren. It was just so
It did
alluring
for
to
some reason.
answer.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I guess Spencer, that'll have to be a suggestion for a grandchild later on.
There you go.
I don't think
Speaks
so.
to me
I'm
so
so
strongly.
sorry. No, we're not doing that.
Y'all ready for your question? You ready?
Yeah,
This
I'm
be
ready.
great. This is a behind the scenes right here. Okay.
Okay.
Who was the chief model maker?
What the
A,
heck?
Steve Gawley. B, Lauren Peterson. C, Paul Houston. D, Tom Ruddock.
This is really sad because this is what I want to do for a career. Houston sounds familiar to me.
I think it's Steve Gawley.
Ooh, they're split. Y'all's decision.
All I want to say is that the past two times that we've been split and we go with you, we get it wrong.
Yeah.
Wow.
So can we go?
So
Can we
that's
go?
the
Let's go
sole
with
purpose.
let's go with
Oh, man,
Houston
under the
for
bus.
once.
Okay.
Houston.
Final answer is Houston. Well, I'm going to say this. You said this dude's name already one time tonight when we talked about the original Steen, and it is Lauren Peterson.
Who
Was
said
the
Who
chief
said his
model
name?
maker. We were talking about the Death Star, the original New Hope Death Star sequence earlier. Spencer, you rattled out Lauren Peterson like, yeah, it was Lauren Peterson, and went straight down that rabbit hole. I thought.
No, I don't think I
Said
did.
somebody's name. I thought you said his.
I don't-
Spencer doesn't normally like list names of people.
Oh, maybe he was
Yeah,
just
and-
Spencer
close.
inherted my talent for names,
Yeah.
and that's all
Yeah.
I'm gonna have.
I can reckon.
all
Like
I'm
if
gonna
you showed
say
me a
about that.
picture of them, I'd be like, yeah, that's who that is. But
No,
like, I
that's
can't remember
too
their name to save my
fucking
life.
But whereas me, I'll just be like, oh, okay, so you know how Femi Taylor played Ula in Return of the Jedi? She was the Green Twilight Dancer. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, Christian,
very
I
different approaches.
I can recognize them in pictures, but Christian just knows their name.
There you
Well,
go.
see, Christian fills the void in all of our lives.
Yes.
There's one singular voice.
That was perhaps creepier than it sounded in my head.
It was really creepy sounding.
Like, you guys all share a
Your
void, and
decision.
I feel like it's what?
Yeah. All right.
I'll
Is it
support your decision. That
is it
Spencer
my
is the
turn?
odd one out here.
is it my turn to ask a question?
Yeah, sure it is.
All right. Your question is because we're behind. I have been keeping score, and we're
I have
behind
been
by a little
too.
bit. So it's 5-7 right now. That's what I have. You
Mhm.
guys are up,
But
and
you said we weren't keeping score.
I
Well,
said
am.
that,
And
but
my
I wanted
score
to.
sheet's a little more accurate than Spencer's.
What is your score? I might have missed like the first one.
It's 8-6. We're leading 8. You're at 6.
Okay, I just missed the first two questions.
I didn't.
Okay. Either way, you're up by 2. Your next question is who led the Cantina band? I'll give you the answer choices.
Yeah.
Ichabel Gaunt, Doic Nats, Figrin Dan, or Lirin Karn.
None of them speak to the almighty God there, Justin. So
The
D,
almighty
final
God.
answer. Do it.
D?
Yeah.
All right, you got it wrong. It's C, Figrin Dan.
Oh,
I
when in
said
doubt,
this
Charlie
earlier.
out.
I said this like
Christian
said
did
this,
say
like-
this one earlier.
when
Uh-huh.
Spencer started doing the music, I mentioned Figure and Dan.
I had no clue. I don't remember
Wow.
the band thing. I know that's some huge
This
trivia.
just goes to
I've never
prove
remembered it.
people in general need to pay more attention to Christian. That's just.
Yup.
I've gotten some bad ones wrong. So
All right. Dad,
All right,
I think
guys.
this is your question.
Yeah.
Here we go. And I'm not going with the one on the top of the card because I'll just go ahead and tell you what it was. What did Luke Skywalker lose in his battle with Darth Vader? I mean,
a
come
sense
on.
of his like self-esteem,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
Right.
That was
Yeah,
it.
on a
His
deeper level,
wonderment,
yeah.
his wonderment
Right.
about his father.
A few
Ooh, wow.
little strands of peach fuzz.
There you go.
Really became a man that
I'm
day.
loving all those answers. But the question we're actually going to go with is what was standard Imperial procedure when going to light speed?
Dude, is this an obvious, like, if you give us the,
Stupid obvious.
Seat belts. Just for anyone or for Imperial
It
ships?
might be just obvious to me because I was in the Navy and this is similar
No.
kind of thing.
Pretty
you know?
obvious.
Yeah.
Does it?
All right, here, I'll give you the choices.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
What was
here you
standard Imperial procedure when going to light speed? A, alerting all ships of intended course. B, routine check of all devices. C, dumping garbage. Or D, a test flight.
Yeah.
It's dumping
Dumping
garbage.
garbage.
Dumping
go.
garbage.
You shouldn't have given me the
D,
choices.
shouldn't have
Yeah.
given up. That's
No.
okay.
I didn't even remember it
Standard
until
Imperial procedure, we're going to float away with their garbage as they fly off. Boba Fett's just right behind them.
Yeah. All right. Christian, before you do your question, I was gonna do these more like sporadically, and then I totally forgot to do like say these podcasts during like, the beginning. So now we're stuck doing all of them now. A few more podcasts that are participating in Star Wars Podcasting Day. We have Hoth Pod, Journal of the Jedi, Knights of the Nerd Republic. I like that one. Making Tracks, Rebels Pod, Rule the Galaxy, Star Wars Autograph, Toto. This is a I think it's short for something, but it says Toto RFFG. I don't know what that
Just
stands.
you're on Twitter, right?
No, I have screenshots. And
You
Womp
should've-
Rat Radio. I probably should have been on Twitter, but it's fine.
Because not all the handles are the full names.
Yeah. We got a few more. We have Auditors Podcast, Bantha Milk, Coruscant Knights, Flight Risk Pod, Ion Cannon Cast, Quest Me, Sarlacc Digest, Spectres Podcast, and This Is the Way Podcast. And Christian, what he did for podcasts whose full names are not their thing is he posted their name and then their handle.
Okay, then why is it still an abbreviation for that one?
Because apparently their podcast name is an abbreviation for something. Or I just don't know how to pronounce it.
Spencer didn't know how to pronounce it. I think that's the better logic there.
More power to them for.
Again, we like to apologize to any podcast we've offended tonight with Spencer's mispronunciations.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I got a kilometer question,
Heck yeah.
Ooh, let's do speed.
which technically is a clue because, I mean, you could have answered with feet or, the length of a chicken wing. How wide is Cloud City?
Just say it again.
Say
The
that-
unit.
Yeah.
The unit is kilometers. How wide is Cloud City?
Oof.
The choices here.
It's the age-old question. You got how deep is your love and how wide is Cloud City?
Wow.
Brilliant.
Christian-
Absolutely brilliant.
Christian with a reference beyond his years.
Yes. What are the choices? I need the choices for this on giant matrices of kilometers here.
Oh,
Silly metric system's going to confuse me.
I would be grasping at straws, brother.
What's the choices?
Oh, sorry, I'm not.
I was
I'm
about
not-
to say
I'm
you
blanking.
might have to give him
Well,
a
he
choice.
gave you the garbage choices.
Sorry, I'm listening to Bee Gee songs in my head right now.
Oh,
Okay,
okay, that's cool.
16 kilometers, 20 kilometers, 80 kilometers, or 9 kilometers. 16, 20, 80, 9.
20. I don't know.
That's what I'd go with.
Sure,
90
20.
seems like an outlier.
Fire in the dark here.
You going with
Shot
20?
over. Sure, shot over 20.
Yes.
Wrong. 16. How does it
I
feel?
have no clue. I'm glad somebody has memorized that. You know what's sad is somebody out there's going, those guys are idiots. I knew that. And it's like, I never bothered to measure the dimensions of Cloud City and or retain the distance.
Jeez.
Yeah.
The only person I could think that would know that is someone who either made the models or studied the models and knew the scale.
Yeah.
You
The
know?
hooch behind the scenes. Oh, is it my turn to read?
I think it is.
It is. And while you do this,
Okay, so who manufactured who manufactured the Theta class T2C shuttle? A. Cowart Drive Yards, B. Cygnus Space Works, C. Horschel Kessel Drives Incorporated, D. Gory Revolutionary Industries.
Cigna does all the other ships, don't they?
This is Imperial, right? The Theta class is the.
Yeah, it
There's
is.
Theta and
So
there's Lambda.
Theta is Imperial. So wouldn't it be the Cigna group, because didn't they do all the Imperial stuff like in Rebels? They mentioned.
You'd be more fresh with that. So
Don't you guys like how
trust
he's
you.
trying to reference like all the TV shows to get this? I think that was in Rebels.
I think it was. I think it's Cigna. I think you're trying to steer me away from it.
No, I'm not
Well,
actually. I was just thinking.
But
it's
hold
cool
on,
referencing
hold
that.
on, Spencer. Though, what are you saying Cigna because you know it from Rebels, or are you confusing it with Sigma because it's a Greek letter?
Cigna,
wanna
because
make
I
sure.
remember hearing it from Rebels. So I was gonna say
Alright.
Cigna, whatever his Cigna is.
Lock it in.
Lock it in,
He
baby.
hit the button to lock it in, ladies and gentlemen. The correct answer was Cygnus Spaceworks. You are correct.
Yeah, I know my stuff. I know my
You gotta
team.
give
And it
the-
was referenced in Rebels. You were exactly right. That's the only
Yeah.
reason I knew that is because
That's one of
Yeah.
those.
seen it
That's
in
one of those
Rebels.
where you do the MJ Kobe fist bump.
Yeah, you're like, "Ugh." Yeah.
Gotta be rewarded for that risk.
Heck
Ah.
yeah. Thank you for that.
Well,
All right. Well, Justin,
solid pickle.
while Big Steve is in the restroom, I will take this opportunity.
Straight diamond
Well,
him out.
never mind. There you go. I was gonna mention more podcasts while you're doing this, but
Dude,
you know,
do it.
okay, I got you.
Go
I
for
got,
it.
I got a
Go
few
for
more. Got a few more podcasts.
Get the
in here.
rep out there for these people, man. This is a huge celebration.
Yeah, we all need it. I think a lot of these people are smaller podcasts, kind of like us. So, we got Ebon Hawk podcast, For Christ's Sake, Anakin, GM
Wow, really?
Alderaan, yep, Radio 1138, Rebel Scumcast, Redemption
love it.
Pod, Take Cover, Through Imperial Eyes Pod, who is another follower of us, Traveling the Jundland Wastes, which I like, Two Geeks and a Mic, Ashley and Brandy, Force Major Pod, HoloNet Marauder, Mando Vision, NHC podcast, on Airderon, Sith Minutes. Oh, I get it. That's funny.
Yeah, you got it now. You got it.
Yeah,
Thanks for
podcasters
catching
like their puns. Come on.
Yeah, it's funny. And Talking Tauntauns,
it.
which is way too close to Cody's podcast, which is Talking Touchdowns. So, but talking
I like Mando Vision.
I do like Mando
sounds like
Vision.
WandaVision.
It does.
does. I like
And
that.
I like the Sith one there. He said that he mangled. Yeah.
And that is all of the podcasts that are participating that we know of as of right now. Now we still have like a half a week after recording this until Star Wars Podcast Day. So there may be more. So I'm sorry if you are part of that and did not get shouted out here, but those are all the ones that we know of that have been put out to the general public. So I think we can do about one more question per team, and we'll wrap up this trivia
Are
competition.
you serious? You just want to
Before
do
we
one
do
question?
the last questions, what is the running score currently?
We're
The
tied.
score
As of
is-
the last one, we are tied 8.
Yeah.
I think it's a good time for final question.
No, it is final question. Sudden
Mhm.
death overtime right now, guys.
Yeah. All right.
Mm,
So is it my turn to ask you a question?
it is your turn.
Which means I need to make this one slightly harder than.
Oh, come on. We gave you
Hold on.
Steve, don't you give them garbage like, hey, what did Obi-Wan Kenobi say? No.
No,
I've been pulling randoms.
You better pull the
Just
Moff
saying.
Gunray card I had of how tall is Newt whatever. No, legit. Earlier on, dude, the second question I had on a card was legitimately, and I want to know who knows this. Like, did they screen measure it or? Let me go back to it. Yeah, one of the questions I had earlier as a second on a card was how tall was Trade Federation Viceroy Newt Gunray? Like, who's gonna know he's 1.96 meters tall just
What the
off the
heck?
cuff?
Right.
I mean, I know he's taller than Darth Maul.
Yeah, but who's gonna know he's
he's
almost
taller. He's taller than. No, he's not taller than Anakin.
No, he's not.
Anyway,
Yeah, go for it.
your question is, what did an officer report to Admiral Piet? I think is his name.
Yeah.
Piet, that they had lost on the Super Star Destroyer Executor.
Repeat it.
What did an officer report to Admiral Piet that they had lost on the Super Star Destroyer Executor?
What are the choices, Spencer?
All,
Are we gonna do?
all shields, turbo lasers, bridge deflector shields, or forward batteries?
Bridge deflector shields.
Final answer?
Final answer.
We'll go with that, even though the forward battery speaks to me. We'll go with Justin's answer. It's probably right. Yeah.
That is
You gotta
correct.
look at him.
It is correct.
Bridge
Yeah.
deflector.
Because right after he lost the bridge shield, he says, "Intensified forward batteries. No, nothing to get through."
That's why that's
As the A-wing smashes the bridge
Yeah.
in the Super Star
Right.
Destroyer.
Exactly.
All right, Christian, we have to get this right to
All right, bud.
here we go.
All right. Which ship was actually a modified T-47 airspeeder? A, the Cloud Car. B, the Snowspeeder. C, the TIE Bomber. or D, the TIE Interceptor?
It's not a tie.
It's not a tie. I think if we're going based on which ones look, I think the snow speeders look a lot like speeders, and they're called speeders.
It's the Rebellion. That's where they would modify ships.
Yeah,
The Cloud Car
yeah.
would be just like an original model.
Yeah,
The
snow speeder.
Yeah, it is the snow speeder.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a tie. We'll give it a tie. I'm cool with ending in a tie.
No.
No, No, we're not ending in a tie.
Christian's way too.
Christian's
competitive
like,
for that,
we're
those
not
jobs.
ending in a tie.
One more
Plus, I mean,
each.
plus the numbers are 9. Like, you're gonna leave this on an odd number.
Yeah, no, we got to go
Okay,
even.
okay,
Wow.
okay.
So wait a
No,
minute, Christian. That
9,
means
that's
that you
different.
and I have the honors of the last questions. Right
Christian,
now.
I do like the question that you just texted me, and I
I know,
will
I was
say
trying-
we do
I
not
was trying to
give.
be as fast as possible, and then you went and did an original trilogy question that I knew they would answer.
Well, okay, I don't think that you should give them choices for this. I think that'll make it way too obvious.
So okay. Wait a minute. If you're not going to give me choices, for
Well, it makes
your
it super
question,
obvious.
So then I shouldn't give you choices for my question. Well, the garbage made it super obvious.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with
You will
that
do
challenge.
no
I'm cool with
choices.
that.
We
Yeah,
just
I'm-
got to go with
I'm
it.
okay-
This
I'm
makes
okay
the
with that.
tiebreaker interesting here.
I'm okay with that.
It's like sudden
Okay.
death anyway. So yeah.
It
Yeah.
is sudden death anyway.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I don't want to ask you guys this.
Christian, ask away, please.
Okay, so this
Oh,
is
it's
one of
my-
those single
It's what's
question.
Christian's turn. so-
Hang on, Justin. Hang on. We're answering this time.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Okay.
Good.
Which species do the Trandoshans consider to be arch enemies?
That's not obvious at all.
I think this is. I'm not gonna say where it's from.
That's not obvious.
Yeah,
at all.
don't say it, Spencer.
No, it would be obvious if we gave you the choices.
I don't remember the species of Star Wars enough to even know.
Right.
So I have no idea.
I'm gonna kick myself. Go ahead and give us the answer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you sure you don't want to
Yeah, I
name
don't
any?
know because I don't know the species.
Okay, the answer is Wookiees.
The
I
answer
would
is
not
what?
even-
It's the one species that you do know, that I can guarantee you know.
But
So, Chewbacca is a Wookiee, Justin.
yeah, but they're
Yeah,
who's
but the
arch enemy?
Transdoshans are who I couldn't play.
Trandoshans are what Bosk is, the big dragon dudes.
I have no clue about that. I
So,
would not even
so
remember
this
the
I
dragon
know.
people.
I know this was
See.
mentioned in Clone Wars. There's a whole Clone Wars arc about Trandoshans hunting people for
Yeah,
sport.
Clone Wars. It's not obvious at all. Clone Wars. We're in the
Well,
cartoon
they
now.
they hunt people
it's,
for
it's the same
sport.
thing for throwaway lines in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this, at least this is a plot point.
Oh yeah.
This is it.
And you would
Yeah,
have
it
guessed
is.
you would have guessed it because the choices were Wookiees, humans, Aqualish, and Gans, and so you would have picked Wookiees because it's the only one that you
Yeah,
recognize.
that's true. You're right. I would have picked Wookiees.
It was way too obvious to
Yeah.
give you the choices. So.
This is true.
Oh God.
All right, here we go
Ready?
for the win.
The win.
Here's your card. All right. Who sang the hit song La Petite Neck?
Christian knows this one.
Size noodles.
Christian knows.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I had no clue.
Oh,
Let's
as
go.
Soon,
I
as
knew
soon as
it.
you asked that question, I said Christian knows this one.
I
We
had
talk
to,
about-
I just
listen,
drew it off the top.
If
I
you've
darn sure
listened,
wasn't asking
Just
the
so
second
you know,
one.
Justin.
listen, Justin, if you've
I know you
listened
listen
to
to
this
this podcast. I know how.
I know, but I just
know
drew a
you know
random
that
card.
Christian
I
is
didn't-
a music guru.
I don't know how
So,
you've
yeah.
missed this because we talked for like
I
15
know.
minutes about this scene in this movie.
I
Yeah,
know,
but I
because the
didn't-
problem
if
is,
I would
is
have
I
said
drew
her
a
name-
random card. I didn't go, let me look at it
okay,
beforehand and
Yeah.
see which one I should ask Christian.
Okay.
If I would have said the name of the character when we were complaining about that scene, you would have recognized it.
Well,
Probably.
no, he picked it right off the top. He said,
But
He's-
you know,
Yeah, I just drew it
Yeah, I
randomly.
did.
I went, all right, let's see.
I wasn't choosing between that and other ones. It was just the last one I drew, and I held on to it.
But
also-
that's all that I did.
For fairness, I skip over most of the kilometer questions.
Yeah, so did I.
I
did
had
too.
so
like
many
I did not
And the
ask you
ones-
guys.
The
Like,
ones
how
that are
many
like the
turbo
most
lasers
famous
are-
lines, I didn't include either.
no,
So-
I didn't do that
We
either.
are-
So. I,
We
thi-
are mature enough to congratulate you as winners.
I'm
I
not.
think this was a
Spencer,
very. I think it was fair. I think we asked each
Christian,
other.
great job.
pretty
You
fair
bailed him
questions.
out
Oh,
there
yeah.
at the end with your knowledge of music. Spencer totally failed you today.
I mean, yeah. Let's be honest. I kind of.
But
did.
He
yeah,
helped
no,
with a
I'm
lot
not
of
gonna ask
the
y'all
tiebreakers.
how many turbo lasers were on this question. It's
Oh,
like,
I have 3 of them that were. How many turbo lasers were on the Millennium Falcon? How many were on TIE fighters?
yeah, that's what mine was. How many turbo lasers are on an R63A? It's like
One of the ones that I passed up was how many blaster cannons does a cloud car have? So,
Yeah.
you know.
I
Well,
like some of these cards though. They're some of them are neat.
so
but
I would like to say we appreciate. We're not gonna boast about that, but I think we did ask each other pretty fair questions throughout. We kind of mixed it up. So
No, it's fine.
so we would like to thank you for joining us on our last Star Wars Pod Trivia competition. Thank you, Justin and Steve and Christian and myself for participating in this. But we all know that the obvious winner are the new school era.
that's right. That's right. Congratulations, Spencer.
Beating
You
out
still
the
get to go
old
to college
school.
for free because of your father.
So thank you, everyone. And join us next time on the Last Star Wars Podcast Trivia. Sorry, I couldn't help
Could not be
myself.
proud.
I wanted to
Could
do
not
the
be
music again. I couldn't help it.
I know. I'm proud of the music. It's pretty entertaining to me, at least.
Thank you. I tried to do that on a few podcasts and it never shows up in post, so I just ended up editing it out. So it's whatever. So yeah, I think that's about it. We've been going for a good bit.
Really?
I think so.
Oh, I don't know how long you've been
Enough
going.
that I had to go change my adult diaper a minute ago.
I
Yeah.
had to drink an Ensure over here to make sure I could keep going. It's so late in the evening. I mean, Jeopardy's been off for a while. This is my bedtime.
Yeah. Well,
Got to get up early to get my coupons at K&W.
exactly. Well, we'd like to thank you both for coming on and being part of our podcasting day special. Are there any things that you would like to plug? I know you're probably not on social media because you don't know how to work anything other than a flip phone, but is there?
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow.
Hey, you made the adult diaper joke, okay? So is there
We're
anything?
allowed to do that.
Is there anything that you would like to plug before we end out this podcast?
Careful, he may forget to put gas money in your account with his eyesight being so bad.
It's okay. His father just gave me some.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. I really appreciate y'all letting us be here. Christians, you tolerated us very, very well. But it is still mostly Spencer's fault we lost somehow. And it's, really everything should be Spencer's fault. I do want to say thank you for y'all both for letting us be here. It's been fun. Star Wars is always near and dear to us old people's hearts. Plus, as much as it is with the strangeness we have with new stuff coming out and everything else, I'm still excited for every bit of Star Wars. I mean, man, we got season 3 Mandalorian and everything else coming to Disney. So I'm super stoked about that. But also like to plug some really cool guys other than Star Wars that are out there. They have a really cool podcast coming out, and it's been out. There's only a couple episodes, but it's Scouting with Dummies. It's all about a comical kind of new, fresh take and a real world approach of scouting in the real world and what adult leaders view of it. So go check them out, Scouting with Dummies. So pretty cool, pretty fun. But thank y'all again for tolerating me being here, because I know I'm the crazy one. Steve's pretty calm.
Yeah, he doesn't talk much.
Well, when Justin's here, I can sit back and listen to him, take my job of bashing you over. And
Yeah.
I don't have to work as hard. So
It's one of the good things about college.
You say that now, but we'll see you this Saturday as you drive home.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Coming home for the Super Bowl. Anyway,
That's right. Come do some chores.
Yeah, exactly. So
Right.
once again, everyone listening, we'd like to thank you for listening to this episode of the Last Star Wars Podcast. Just a few social media things to get out of the way. If you want to find Christian and I on Instagram, I am spncr.c. On Instagram, Christian is Mischian Kriller. You can also find our podcast at Last Star Wars Pod on Instagram and Twitter, or the Last Star Wars Podcast on Facebook and YouTube, where we post episodes of this very podcast on YouTube the day they come out. So go check that out. And once again, we like to give a special shout out to Daniel over at Star Wars Now This Is Podcasting for not only having one of the most comprehensive lists of Star Wars podcasts that is readily available, but also putting together the very first annual Star Wars Podcasting Day. He did all this, he was, communicating with everybody, put all this together. And so just one last round of applause, everyone, for Daniel over there. So
Thank you,
good job.
Daniel.
Very good job. So yeah, go check him out. Link is in the description, and we will on our post when this comes out on Instagram and Twitter, we will tag him as well on that post. So go give him a nice like and a follow. And if you have any ideas about what you want to see on the podcast, if you want to tell us, what your views are about Star Wars, you want to tell us what, series you want to see, or, back to our other episode, what actors you want to see on Star Wars projects, you can send us an email at laststarwarspod@gmail.com.
Spencer, can I go ahead and make a request? I want to hear an episode all about the history, environment, the structural hierarchy, the government organization of the Gungans.
Okay, we can do it.
I really want to hear all about the
that.
Gungans.
Justin, I know you brought that up just to push my buttons.
Yeah,
All right,
just-
thank you again for listening to this episode of the Star Wars podcast, and we'll see you on a Wednesday.